What were Maroon communities and how did they resist slavery? Imagine a world where enslaved Africans refused to stay under the control of their oppressors. Instead, they escaped and built their own societies. That's what Maroon communities were all about. These groups formed in remote areas like dense forests, mountains, or swampy lands where colonial powers had a hard time reaching them. They existed across the Americas, including the Caribbean, South America, and parts of North America. These communities weren't just hiding spots. They became independent societies that kept alive African traditions while blending in influences from indigenous peoples and European colonizers. They developed their own languages, called Creole languages, and kept cultural practices from Africa alive. Maroon communities resisted slavery in many ways. First, they escaped from plantations and set up their own settlements, rejecting the system of bondage altogether. These settlements were often in hard-to-access places, making it tough for colonial armies to find or attack them. When colonial forces did try to recapture them, Maroons used guerrilla tactics. They knew the terrain well and could launch surprise attacks or disappear into the wilderness quickly. This made it very difficult for armies to defeat them. Some Maroon groups also made alliances with indigenous peoples or negotiated treaties with colonial governments. These treaties sometimes recognized their freedom and land rights, giving them a degree of independence. For example, in Jamaica, the Maroons fought long wars against British forces and eventually signed treaties that granted them land and freedom. In Florida, groups like the Seminole and Maroons worked together to resist re-enslavement, creating communities like Pilliclicaha. Cultural preservation was another form of resistance. By keeping African languages, social structures, and traditions alive, Maroons maintained their identity and refused to be absorbed into colonial society. They also became economically self-sufficient through farming, hunting, and trading with nearby groups. This economic independence helped them stay free and survive over generations. These communities show how enslaved Africans fought back with courage and ingenuity. They created safe havens and fought for their freedom, shaping early Black resistance in the Americas. Their stories reminded us of resilience and the ongoing fight for autonomy that echoes through Black history today.